Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager, and it's episode 69. Coming up in the schedule, we have Cape Town, so we're heading to South Africa for the next race. We have a 10% chance of rain. Now, here in the Great Northwest, what we refer to that as it's going to rain for sure. Just, only part of the day. So we'll see if that's actually the case here in the race upcoming. We just got our latest engine build completed. It's pretty close to max performance already, but reliability all the way down at 20%. So taking a look at the car here briefly, the overall, we're up to 7th. We're inching back ahead of Force India and Renault. Part of what's helping is the engine, even though we are still dead last in that department. You can see even at 10th, we've made a lot of progress. It's really just the gearbox that's really struggling at this point. Everywhere else is now midfield, upper midfield. We've begun some work on a new rear wing. That's only going to take a few days to complete. It's one of those areas where we could use some improvement and could make it happen cheaply. We're not going to be able to make a whole lot of car improvements the rest of the season, as we are struggling very much with the balance at this point, and we're going to need to rely on some sponsorships coming up here. Speaking of, we have one coming open here in the next race that we could really use a nice hefty upfront payment like the last one. That was $7 million. Or something else to assist us out with that, because we definitely need a cash influx. But we have one sponsorship coming up open in each of the next 3 races. Alright, so with that, we're ready to head back into the next race. Max Verstappen now 4th place in the championship after that, and that is awesome that he is that high up, but we did not score any points last time out, so we'll very much be looking to get going this time, see if we can't grab at least some points. Okay, so it's a 33-lap race, which means we could be facing that situation where the soft tires are going to be necessary. I would think the Ultra Softs probably aren't going to last very long. They're probably a 6 or 7 lap tire, most likely. The Super Softs might get 9 or 10. The Softs should hopefully be able to get 17, 18, maybe 19 laps or more. If that's the case, then we can have a one-stopper on the Softs. So I'm going to go with 3 sets on the Softs. I'm going to do the same for the Super Softs because it's possible those are going to make it, which means we are limiting our qualifying chances with only 3 sets, but that's okay. The race matters a lot more, and we don't qualify well anyway, so, hey, it's all good. Alright, new parts available. Let's see where we're at. Both cars with those brakes. The engine is where we've made some improvement. We're at 28% on that new part. We have upgraded from this lower engine to this higher engine, so Max has a much better engine than he had before. It's still at 90%. We want to try to get both of these active and then get them both up to 100%. So we need to get this upwards of 75% or more. 28% is not going to cut it. One of the reasons why I went for a new rear wing is there's a substantial difference between the 2 rear wings on the car right now, and they're both low on reliability anyway. So if we can get away from that 1454 and get anyone in much better shape, that's going to be a pretty big improvement for us as a team. Okay, both guys are content. Estimated race position for Herta is 14th, for Verstappen is 12th. Which is just outside of the scoring range, but we always tend to, between weight stripping and strategy, find a way to claw up a little bit higher. Expected weather dry Friday and Saturday with that 10% chance on Sunday. So by the way, I know Cape Town was a destination for Formula One years ago. I've never seen a race from there. Just from the looks of the course and from what I've heard of experts, I would absolutely love to see F1 return to Cape Town at some point. I know Liberty Media has looked to add new tracks. It sounds like a new Netherlands or Holland Grand Prix is on its way. Potentially a second American race are on their way. But I would like to see this as a returning track. It seems like it would be a good one, an exciting one. It's definitely one of the shorter tracks on the calendar, though. That's kind of a good thing, right? Get more action. Keep the field bunched up a little bit tighter. Okay, 33 lap race. How are we looking? Yeah, there you go. So about 18 on the softs. So that double that up, that's 36, meaning we should be able to make it. Even if they only go 17, that's 34. That will make it. So softs look like they're going to be the way to go. The super softs at 13, not going to cut it. I mean, that's 26. We're looking quite a bit short. Now 13 and 18, still short. So one stopper on the softs looks like the way we're going to go. The good thing is, unlike some of the other tire compounds where first to last, like if you have the hards, there's a huge gap in speed. Soft tires are good for speed. So they might not be the ultras, which are only good for 9 laps, but they are definitely not substantially worse. I mean, we're talking about 1 star in terms of performance. The super softs are barely better than the softs. Alright, so we will run softs. Looking at the car setup, we're going to have to make some adjustments here right off the bat. Handling. Definitely head towards oversteer, more towards acceleration. There's not a bunch of long straights, so that should get us going. 31, 31. And we're going to need to set up max similarly. I would imagine we're pushing towards that acceleration side. It would make sense. So we'll go 31 and 30. We'll go 38 here. Not necessarily going to be the same. Okay, so weight stripping overall, pretty similar breakdown, but they're both adding about 150 in performance, and that's one of those areas where we definitely make some gains on some of the other teams. Not saying they're not using weight stripping, but I don't think they're using it to the extent that I do. Alright, ready to head out to practice. We've got 20 minutes on the clock. Car setup already set up. And race trim is all good to go. Soft tires good to go. And Colton Herta heads out onto the track, leaving the garage. Max, okay, he's on a qualifying trim. I don't want that disaster to happen once again, so I'm going to go ahead and take 10 seconds and switch him over to race trim just to be sure. I'm going to get that locked down first before we move on to those ultras. I don't like losing those 10 seconds early on, but it's going to be worth it after that disaster we had a handful of races back where we missed out on bonuses because the session ran out too quick. Alright, both cars out on track. Speed it up as they come around. Nice short laps here, so it's quick and easy. We should be able to get the setup down relatively quickly today, especially when we've already got one purple and one on great. It's only 83%, but that's the downforce that is very poor. So we're going to need to add a lot of downforce. Okay, speed balance is going to be a small change one way or the other, but I need to bring that handling back in. Okay, that should do it. We'll give a try here to see what we get. Let's see, do I get... There we go. That'll lock on right down the middle. Alright, so we'll get Colton back out, and it looks like we might have his setup down quite quickly here. Max is coming in, and not the fantastic setup that we have with Colton, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get Max set up today. He does need a lot of downforce. That's fine. He's going to need a lot more on the handling. Speed balance was good. Definitely not quite where he needs to be, so let's see. Okay. Yeah, we'll try that. So that's 75% overall. It's not the worst setup you could have. Bring in, take, overtake, bring in, and they're already coming back around. So fast, great, excellent, and great. So Colton already quite close, 96% after just one lap out on track. Can't beat that other than, you know, by about 3%, maybe 4%. So technically you can, but certainly not by much. Now, the thing about this one, trying to track down a little bit more percentage, actually shouldn't be that hard because we know which way he's going. So let's see, is that in between? That is in between. We'll give that a shot. Max. Much better. Still not there yet. But 93%. Not bad after one lap. Okay, good. Probably overshot. So we're going to come back some. And then, let's see, we're great and great. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if we've gone the right direction. So we'll see what we get from those two. It's going to get Max caught back up to Colton. In fact, they're heading out at the exact same time. Get them both brought back in. Might as well just get it down. It looks like I should have an easy time getting the bonuses. We're only 4 minutes into the session and already in the mid-90s. Cars rolling back into the garage. And we are right there. Right there. 97%. Got 2 excellence. I'm thinking we just went the wrong way on the downforce. Still says great. I need to go to the right some. One more tenth. Oh, 1/10. There we go. Oof, that's offsetting the bottom though. That's not what I wanted. What if we go back the other way? That'll bring it a hair left, which I think would actually get us closer. Okay, we'll give that a shot, see how we're doing. It's pretty easy to reset things at this point. But I'm going to go ahead and let Herta out, and actually no, I'm not going to let him go run. Why? Because, well, Max is at 99%. He's going to go get us some bonuses here in just a second. So let's set him for 12 laps. We'll get him out there to finish off those bonuses. And away he goes. I'm not going to mess with that as he's going to go on a long run. We are already through bonus level 1. We're almost to bonus level 2. Colton still not going to get a chance to run just yet, but we're going to ride with Colton Herta for now. There's bonus level 2. 1 level left to go. Okay, we are so close here. 98%. We picked up 1% again. We did come off that line slightly on the handling, and that is what did us in, so we lost a percent there. I think we did well on the speed balance. The downforce, though, is definitely the right movement. But how do I get 1 more percent? How do I tweak the handling without messing with the speed? Okay, we'll try that. Just a tiny adjustment to the tire pressure. See if that inches us closer, and we'll send him out for a long run because he is more or less ready to go. 98%. So we'll get both guys running until we get that level 3 bonus. We'll bring them in, and then we'll start working on qualifying. And there it is. Both cars ready to come in now. Max rolling into the garage now, and there we go. Switch him over. Qualifying trim, 3 laps, ultras. Okay, waiting on Colton to come in now. Oh, we're just bouncing back and forth between the two. Like I said, it's so hard to get that last percent. If I go back, no. Wait, if I go like that. See, we're talking about a major adjustment now. I don't think I can quite get them where I want them. Ooh, wait. Have we done it? Excellent, yes. Maybe that's 1% off. Bring that in. Okay, now handling is exactly where I just had it. Speed balance did shift about 1% to the left, which means we could have 99%. It's going to take us 20 seconds, but time is not an issue. Qualifying trim, 3 laps. Put on those ultra soft tires, and we're going to let these guys run, get our bonuses, and we'll come back in. Get our first kind of look at pace now as Max Verstappen goes 7th fastest, and Colton Herta goes 14th. But he is a bit slower than his teammate there. Alright, bonuses not quite met yet. I'm going to let Max sit. Colton was the one who still had some work to do. And by the way, it looks like tire heating running on neutral is exactly where it should stay. We don't quite have those bonuses yet. Colton will have to go back out and run. But I wanted to see, yes, we did manage to get triple excellent. It's still 98% though. All that just to get a purple smiley face. Yes, it is purple and he is smiling. You know what? 1 lap's going to be enough. Go ahead and head back out there. And we'll just let you run. We'll let time go. Let's see. There is level 3 bonuses for the tires. And for the qualifying session upcoming, he's on used tires, so he's probably not going to get the fastest of times here. But let's see how he does. He actually improves his time. So lighter fuel load helps out a bit. And Herta goes 10th fastest. Max goes 8th fastest here in practice. We've got 6 purple smiley faces. 1 minute left of time. We've got 4 purple bonuses. We got some ultra soft tires on. It's a purple day. Alright, time's up. Gata from that purple Red Bull team goes fastest. What did I say? It's a purple day in South Africa today. Both guys within a tenth of a second of each other. And on to qualifying. I'm very much enjoying the rule change for qualifying this season. Ultras and qualifying. Ultras and qualifying. I like that sweetest spot one. But it's hard to beat a 30% bonus when it's available. Alright, now I have 2 sets of tires. So they can both make a couple runs here. I do have that very used set that I could try and go out and just set a time on. Alright, weather is dry. It's cloudy though. Track grip definitely on the up. And it's a short lap. It's under a minute. So it's not going to take long to set up. So we're going to let some time go by. Going to make one run towards the end. We get out of Q1 or we don't. It's not a big deal whether I get eliminated here. I really don't want to be in the top 10. But it'd be nice to get out of Q1. Alright, let's go ahead and get Colton out there first. As he has been notoriously slower than his teammate. Alright, nice long straightaway here. This is definitely time to get those tire temps up before we go into this big braking zone. Just a quick chicane there though. Here's the difficult chicane around the traffic circle. And from here we should be able to get those tire temps up into that happy zone. Perfect. Brake temps are a bit overheated though. We're going to get Max out there as well. There is that small chance that we could run these guys twice if they don't get where they need to go on the first time. Herta now starting his hot lap. He is 0.7 of a second off the pace at the first checkpoint. That is terrible. And that's already outside of the top 5 or 6. 1.4 off. Yeah, he's going to be last place. Little cold, little overheated. I honestly wasn't paying enough attention. I was looking at Herta, who actually had a really good third sector and goes 15th fastest for right now. Nakashita, though, is out on a lap. He's green and green through the first 2 sectors. Max, 0.4 of a second off the pace, but we're running side by side with... Who is that? Who is that getting in my way? Nordstrom? No? Ocon? It's Ocon. Esteban Ocon. We are ruining each other's laps right now. Max, 1.1 off the pace. And he goes 11th fastest. I think that's going to be enough for Max to get out of the session. Herta, though, is now eliminated unless I can go out for one more run. And there is enough time. So we're going to try to get him out there for one more. I might as well. I definitely won't be using the Ultras in the race. So Max, 11th fastest. That might be enough. Alright, perfect on the tire temps. Overheated on the brake temps. Let's see if Herta can run a better lap this time. Max drops to 12th. Carlos Sainz Jr. looking faster. Leclerc, wow, Leclerc's in 16th. What the heck happened to him? Okay, Verstappen drops to 13th as Carlos Sainz moves just one spot up ahead of him. Leclerc only up to 14th. What is going on with Ferrari? Fuoku's in 19th. No. No. Wow. Okay. I think there's been a team switch. Herda, P10. And they are both out of the session. They both made it into Q2. That is fantastic. Starting the top 15. But Colton, no tires left, so he's going to be slow. Verstappen does have one set left, but I really don't want him to crack the top 10 like Colton just did. Gotta fastest again. Lando Norris very close behind though, less than a tenth of a second. Mercedes and Red Bull pretty dominant out there. One Prima car out. And is it just me or... Oh, now. Wow. Okay, so Valdez all the way up to 11th in the other Prima. Are they doing a one-car strategy where everything goes into Valdez's car while Fuoku gets all the crap parts? Could be. Very well could be. Both Force Indias and both Renaults are eliminated. So those weaker teams, 5 of those 6 drivers, out in Q1. We're starting to show our might just a little bit, but let's hope we don't end up in Q3 because I can't afford to start the race on some really bad tires. And that would definitely mess up the plan, without a doubt. Okay, so Herda... Oh, hold on, cancel. We got some time here. We've got some time here. But actually, I really don't want to go... I want to be kind of on the back end here. Not necessarily last. So, Herda's on used tires. Max is not. I'm going to get Max out there first. Because I don't want him to put in the best time he could. So, while grip's a little bit lower right now, I think now is the time to send him out. And then I'm going to run Herda closer to the end. But he's on used tires already, so I don't expect fireworks, meaning I'm hoping that he'll be slow enough to not be in the top 10. Looks like Van Doren, Margasov are on used tires. Carlos Sainz Jr. on used tires, but otherwise everybody else is on a fresh set. So there's only a handful of guys that are in this position that Herda's in. Okay, so Max we have where we got Colton those last couple of runs. Perfect on the tire temps, but a bit overheated on the brakes. And, oh, we got a Ferrari right in front of us. Hopefully he'll drive out of the way and be fast enough to get out of there. No, see, Max is holding that left-hand line right now. Holding that left-hand line, so he's not using the whole track. So this Ferrari is absolutely in our way. It's Joseph Newgarden. No, actually it was Leclerc who's still on the outlap. And now we're being caught by a Williams. Max 1.5 off the pace. That is a really slow lap. Really slow lap. That's easily going to be 15th. Now, Herda, I am going to wait a little bit to go. Ooh, Harold's slower. That's a good thing. Max already outside of the top 10. Right where I want him. I'm going to send Colton out here in about a minute. And it's the tires he's on. Alright. Here we go. Chicane coming up. A big chicane coming up. A little more room for pace here. Back out, get on it. Little chicane. Okay, perfect on the tire temps. Still overheated on the brakes, but actually slightly closer, a few percentage points closer than where he's been the last couple times. And Colton Herta begins his flying lap. Max currently 13th of 14 that have completed a lap, so he's just about right where I want him. He could potentially get slightly higher, but I'm not going to send Max back out. I'm not going to risk getting eliminated. 0.6 of a second off for Herta after the first sector. There's only a few cars out on track right now at all. 1.4 already down. Hey, he's ahead of Harrell by the tiniest of margins. So we are 13th and 14th fastest, but Harrell is on an out lap. So let's go ahead and ride with Harrell. This is the other thing that's going to alter our position from 13th and 14th to potentially 14 and 15. On their out lap, we got that Prima car. We've got a Ferrari all bunched up there together. The Prima headed into the garage there. Okay, so Harrell's starting their lap, and hopefully this Ferrari can get around. It is Leclerc, and Leclerc actually backs off. Leclerc just had their lap completely ruined. Very much white in the first sector. Harrell green in the first sector. Just 3.5 tenths off the pace. Here comes Leclerc again, trying to get another run. Over a second off the pace, but they don't tend to lose a whole lot in the final sector. The Williams has good pace. I think they're going to move above me. 1.2, yes. 14th and 15th. So Harrell moves up. Meanwhile, Leclerc did not move up. Leclerc might not make it out of the session and does not. So Harrell ruined Leclerc's day there. And it's going to be Leclerc, Marilinen, Giovinazzi, and myself. Both my cars that are eliminated. Norris fastest in the second qualifying session. And that's it. So we get into Q2, which was nice, but we only managed to get 14th and 15th. I possibly could have done better, but I was afraid of doing much better. We were only 0.2 of a second out of 10th. So I think that was close enough. It's close enough. It would have been nice having that one more position, but that's okay. Wow, the Prima. Oh, well, and there you go. So the Prima, Valdez, all the way up in 8th. So the one competitive car that I've got to worry about below me in the standings is going to be stuck on a used set of tires to start the race, and that's going to shuffle them backwards. The McLaren probably going to struggle now. The Williams will struggle now as they both get in. I look at this, and I think Charles Leclerc could be the favorite to win this race. Leclerc's lap was ruined. They just missed the top 10. They're going to be on fresh tires. They can make a one-stopper work while everybody else in the top 10 are going to have to stop at least twice. If Leclerc can get a good start, I could see him going on to win. And now the race for the pole. Taken quickly at hand. Ooh, intermediates. It's starting to rain. Oh, that's going to alter things quite a bit, won't it? Newgarden gets a lap in at the end and goes faster than everybody else by a small margin as the track dries out. They very, very used Ultra Softs. But Newgarden, the only one who completed a lap on those tires, or at least a lap that wasn't greatly slowed by trying to not slide off the track. Everybody else finished on intermediates. Over a 4-second gap to Harrell, Van Dorn. Valdez all the way up at 7th, surprisingly. But as Q2 was on the dry tires, they will start the race on those used tires from the second qualifying session. But Joseph Newgarden in the Ferrari is going to be on pole with Margasov second. Got all the way down in 6th. That's going to hurt them a little bit, but probably only a little bit. I would imagine they're still going to manage to have a pretty good race. All right, so this is Cape Town. We've got 33 laps upcoming. I need to get into the top 10. I need to get points, and I think we're in the right kind of position to make that happen. Now, there's that 10% chance of rain, and it's coming early in this. It's coming early in the race. It's coming early enough in the race that it would be nice to have some ultra softs. We don't. So, both cars are on super soft tires, and that's okay. Oh, it's going to rain heavy, too. Ooh, interesting. It's only going to take a couple laps to get there. We're probably going to go full wets and skip the intermediates. Probably stick out just long enough, lose a little bit of time on the super softs, and then lose a little bit of time on the wets, but save one whole pit stop, because it's going to rain hard. Boy, oh boy. Okay. Can we benefit? From the conditions today, can we get some sort of result? Still going to go with the soft tires for a bonus. I don't have any ultras left to use. That's why we're starting on those super softs. But they'll definitely last long enough. Now I can push them a bit more too, knowing that we're not going to go that long on those super softs. But we're looking at, what, lap 6? Give or take, lap 5 or 6 when the rain will hit. Alright, we're going to put up 5 red lights here in Cape Town. We're going to get started. So, Joseph Newgarden, Margasov. Ooh, Margasov's ultras are very used. They're going to have to pit after just a couple laps. I mean, let's see, these make it, what, 9 laps? So that means they'll make it about 4 laps, which means they're going to hit the wall after 2 laps, maybe 3. Those guys are going to have their races absolutely ruined. They're going to have to pit twice in the first 6 laps. Some of them, I think, might make it, might luck out. So like Joseph Newgarden, if they hang on. Mick Schumacher, if they hang on. They could actually go on to win this race. Sainz, another one who's going to have to pit. Van Dorn, Harrell, all on the double used tires. Leclerc, what are you doing, son? Used ultra soft tires from 11th place. Marylinen's going to hurt because they're going slow. Who else? Yes, Sanchez. Ocon used softs. You guys are crazy. Fuoku. He's going to have a good start to the race on the ultras. Fresh ultras. Whew. Okay. This is going to be intense, but here we go. 5 red lights are up. Ready to go out. And we are racing in Cape Town. Great start by Herta, but he has to check up. Max finds a way in between the McLaren and the Williams. But here comes the Renault, and Herta is pushed off course. Oh, he just got shoved wide, and Herta is now down to last place and quite some distance behind. Herta let's conserve some fuel already. Save that for a later time. Max, meanwhile, is caught on the outside of this track where there's a lot more right-hand turns than lefts, and he's on that left-hand side until just now, where he got himself passed a couple times there. Thank you. Oh, no. So, Max, 16th. And Herta all the way down to 20th, 3.5 seconds behind the next car on the grid. Not the start that I was hoping for at all. Max, taking a look, 3 wide. Use some ERS, but he's not getting the kind of run we wanted. He does get them in the end, but he used all of his ERS. And there you go, pit stops already. Carlos Sainz Jr. is in here at the end of lap 2. Hopefully a couple of those other guys will pit this lap as well. Van Dorn, Margasov might be coming in. Valdez might be coming in. Harrell should be coming in. And that is going to give us a nice big boost. Look how far behind Sainz is after that stop. And they're on soft tires that they're only going to be able to run a couple laps on. Max running P16, so he is going backwards. That's not a good thing. There's no bonus on these tires, though. one more car in. This time it was Van Dorn who stopped. The others, they're holding out. A little surprising as they are very much going to fall off that cliff probably this lap. Here goes Max around Nordstrom. We are stacked up in the heat of things. I'm going to let him continue to push because these tires will last long enough, and it's already starting to sprinkle. Here it is. The rain is coming. Rain is coming. Oops. Again. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Close. Open. Ah, close. Open. Alright, Max now running in P11. Oh my goodness. Yes, we both have channels. We watch each other's videos. Those are all comments coming from Tomoski. Thank you, man. Pro Cycling Manager. Fellow content creator. P11, P15 now, and these guys are all coming out on intermediates other than signs. Nope. I'm ignoring. I am ignoring. Track's only damp. Or oh, yeah, the track's gonna dry out really quick. We will go for full wets. Okay, so currently Max is P9, Herta is P13. There is less than 2 seconds between the two cars, so it's going to be difficult to double stack. And here comes a couple more cars in. And Savanin also repairing parts. They're going to have a long stop, and there we are moving on up. Full wets for those cars that are coming in. I need to get one of them in this time. No, I don't want to attack. I don't want to risk it. Max is going to pit this time, and we're going to put on full wets. It is lap 7. The tires will last plenty of time. The only trick is, when do I want to pit Herta? Herta, I think I'm going to let him go one more lap, which is a bit of a risk. We're going to start losing some time. In fact, the pace is already 3 seconds off. That is a huge drop in pace. Let's go ahead and put on the wets for both. We're going to take that risk and double stack. It's less than 2 seconds for a stop. So, team, do me proud. Do me proud. All right, into the pits. Relinquishing a high position. Max is already out. Herta pulls in right behind him, but there's a mistake on the rear left. Mistake on the rear left. Jacob Kenny cost us 2.5 seconds and slowed down. Herta is right back to last place. Remember, he had the mistake right away on lap number 1. Let's go ahead and run neutral for these guys. And let's see, Max is in P18. So both cars well behind right now. Newgarden's still out there. Ocon's still out there. A bunch of cars pitting right now. So will we gain some positions here? Could it be? Could it be? They're all coming out of the pits already. P15, P19. We're still well outside of the points right now. We've got a handful of cars on intermediates that are about to start running slow. Well, there's not a very good place to run your ERS on this track, but we do need to start utilizing that a little bit. So P15, P19. Still just 4 seconds between the cars, but that was a little bit of time lost for Herta with that mistake on the pit stop. We will have to stop one more time. We'll be putting soft tires on. Those on the intermediates, they all look like they're going to stay on the intermediates, and they might be ahead right now. But those were all guys that pit the first time out. And as the track is now soaked, they are going to be losing time. So we should start to see, like, Gata. Gata should move into the race lead before too long, even though they're 8.5 seconds behind Markasov. So we'll see. These times should start shifting in favor of those on the wets. Max hanging on to 5th. It's Bo Nordstrom and the Force India that is behind us and moving backwards now. So Nordstrom just made a mistake and is now battling Diaz Sanchez. Giovinazzi just moved around Nakashita. Savannah just moved up. So those faster cars moving ahead of some slower cars. Let's see, cars that are benefiting right now. Van Dorn, Valdez, Harrell, all higher up than you would think they would be. Ocon higher up. Intermediates shuffling backwards and pitting. They are pitting. Really, they are putting full wets on. They are taking a full extra stop. Oh my goodness. Okay, pit strategy definitely starting to be a factor. And with the tires cooling off, let's start pushing. Herta, P16, but lots of extra fuel. Let's start pushing you there. Max, not yet. We'll hold off for now. But P11 and P16 now. Still just 5 seconds between the cars, but Herta has gone back a little bit. So Max having a little bit of a better race here. Right in the midst of things. It's very, very tight amongst the field, much more so than most races have been. Now, back of the grid right now are the Primas and the Williams. A little surprising that the Williams are that far down, but they've already made 2 stops. We've got the McLarens well back, Van Dorn because of 2 stops. Right now, everybody on wets, full wets. Max, defend here. Don't let it pass. There you go. Open that gap up to Bo Nordstrom. Nice. Well done there. Just outside of the points now. And we will 1 stop from here till the end of the race. Tire wear, it's both at 58. Alright, I'm going to speed things up for a little bit. Not much action going on right now. We've got ERS in the bank. And I'm going to have to use some here for Herta as he comes around. 18 laps remaining, and the rain is slowing. The rain is slowing. The track is still very much soaked. Still sprinkling too. Okay, you have some extra fuel. Let's start using that to keep these guys behind you. Tire wear. Gata is going to have to pit soon. Norris is going to have to pit soon. Leclerc is going to have to pit soon. We are in that next train of those that are going to have to pit relatively soon. We're going to get past the point where the track is no longer soaked, and then we're going to be putting on softs till the end of the race. The intermediate run is awfully short, so we should hopefully survive that little bit of a slowdown and come out better. I would love to see if some of the cars put on intermediates and then have to turn right around and pit again. Still soaked, but we're going to hit that intermediate zone in just a moment. Tire wear hanging in there for now. Alright, nice little gain there as we now close up on Nakashita. It's a Renault. That's one car we should be able to beat, theoretically, on paper. 28% now, we're getting close. We're getting close. Track is down to wet, so we're past the point of wet tires. And there you go, Valdez makes the mistake of coming out on intermediate. Sainz has pit. I'm going to go 1 more lap. One more. So, attack. And it's time. Both cars, what's the gap? 4 seconds. That's plenty. And we're going to go on soft tires. We've got 14 laps. No, I'm not going to run the Super Sauce. I don't have a bonus for them. Car, yeah, doing okay. It's a bit suffering a bit in the wear and tear department. I'm going to bring in both cars here. Front wing a little bit worse for wear on Colton. Beyond that, we're in good shape. Valdez, huge mistake to go on those intermediates. I don't think anybody else is. I think everybody else is going to be coming out on softs or super softs. Both cars ready to come in. Let's ride with Max, who's going to be in first. Max already on pit lane. It's a good stop. Here comes Herta. And it's a good stop. No mistakes this time. And don't want to run crazy here. Okay. 1 lap. 6/10 of a lap. So we've got some fuel to burn. And now, at the moment, Valdez is in P10. But we'll have to pit here probably this lap. Max is now P9 and Herta is P15. Everybody's on softs or super softs. The few cars on super softs, Gata, Margasov, Ocon, probably will be able to make it to the end of this race. Probably. So, I'm guessing Valdez is the only one that's going to pit at any point here. And Valdez is right behind Max, and look at that gap opening up already as the track is down to just damp. And still not pitting. Valdez is still not pitting. They're going to lose a ton of time here. Or will they? Or will they? Okay, I'm going to use some ERS this time. Really for both cars, but we'll hit front stretch for Herta, who's now rolling between some faster cars in the middle of traffic. Go Max. Colton, let's try again. Colton goes backwards after using the ERS. That makes a lot of sense. So P9, P18, and yet there's still only 5 seconds between these cars. 5.5 seconds now. So Herta's lost half a second. And we've gone from a few positions between them to half the field caught in between these two cars. That's how tight things are. Other than at the front, where Gata has pulled away by nearly 14 seconds. Lando Norris, second, 4 seconds clear of Newgarden. So we've got a Red Bull, a Mercedes, and a Ferrari at the top. And we've got a Mercedes and a Red Bull in 4th and 5th. The only one who's out of the mix, Charles Leclerc, all the way down to 17th. Something is not right with that Ferrari. My guess is they've done what some of the other teams have done, and they've stacked one car, Newgarden, and given Leclerc crap parts. That would make perfect sense why he was in 11th in qualifying, why he's all the way down to 16th now. If you've looked closely at the car comparisons, the Ferrari is off the pace of the other two cars. I need to defend here. I need to defend here for Max. There we go. That holds P9. And opens up a little bit of a gap there. It's Giovinazzi who's coming now. Valdez has pit and put on soft tires. Lap 25. Approaching the end of this race, there probably isn't going to be a lot more action. Now the gap is opening between the two. That huge number of cars in between there is stretching the field a little bit here. Luckily, Max is near the front of that. He is close to Savanin. He's close to Nakashita. And those are two cars that could potentially be caught. Top 6 out of reach. 7th? It's possible. Giovinazzi, Toro Rosso behind us, Savanin, Toro Rosso in front of us. Nakashita and a slow Renault with some sort of health issue as well. How is he in 7th place? And how is Colton not moving up? There he goes. No, he challenged Diaz Sanchez for a second there. Let's go ahead and ride with him for a little bit and see. Wow, that challenge didn't last long, huh? Let's go ahead and go to push. And the second straight here, we're going to loosen the ERS. Attack, 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 attack. No? Not working for you, huh? Alright, let's ride back on board with Max, the one who is in the points. We're turning the engine mode up to overtake now. We've got 0.8 of a lap. Push doesn't seem to be hurting the tire temps too much. So we're going to start Max on his push regimen as well. He's got less on the fuel load though, so we're only going to keep push and not overtake. We run still in 9th and 17th. Back to neutral for you. And we're going to go back to high. Toro Rosso is not far. I'm going to go ×4 on the speed here so we can wrap this up. We are just about to the end of this race. And Schumacher, Mick Schumacher, has retired with a mechanical issue. We're going to inherit 8th place here in a moment. Just a couple laps to go. Drop to neutral. You're not going to go. Did somebody pit? Did somebody pit? We just moved up a spot. We did. Norris and Ocon have pit. Norris and Ocon have pit. Gotta pit. Margasov is going to barely make it. We're in P6. We are now in P6. Okay. Attack, attack. Got just over a lap to go. Overtake mode. And time to attack. P6. You're a bit low. Go down to high. Go down to high. Thank you. Max, P6. P6. Solid finish. And Colton Herta in P15. So outside of the points, but hey, 6th place for Max Verstappen. We've got Gata in the win, Joseph Newgarden 2nd, Margasov 3rd, Nakashita, the highest of the non-big teams, in the Renault in 4th place, picking up some really valuable points for them. Savanin goes 5th, Giovinazzi 7th, so Toro Rosso is going to pick up some really big points today. Still a good result for us, though. Boy, with this new qualifying format, you get all sorts of drivers that are just way off strategy-wise that are in the top 10, giving chances to other teams. I mean, these guys that pit, like Lando Norris, he was on softs. Why does he pit with 2 laps to go? Because the leader does? That makes no sense. Ocon, also, same thing. Like, why they're pitting there, I do not understand. Valdez made the huge mistake of putting on intermediates. That sent him to the back. But that really worked out for us. That really worked out. 6th place, good result. It's going to be some valuable points. Take a look at the championship standings here in just a moment. That's 8 points for Max Verstappen. No penalties anywhere in the grid. Fuoku was a lap down. And Max stays 4th place in the standings. Bo Nordstrom still up there, 3rd place now as Joseph Newgarden moves past him. Carlo Gata moves up. So not your race leader, championship leader anymore, but still 3rd place. Wow. We are 8 points clear of Marcel in 5th. Herta still just 16 points with cars that are supposed to be balanced. That's the sad part. Balanced cars, or very close to balanced cars, equally good drivers, and yet there's a huge gap between them. But we sit in 5th place with 67 points, only 3 points behind Mercedes. Red Bull pulling away a bit. Force India still up there in 2nd, and it's pretty tight between us and Force India, between 2nd and 5th. We've got a 15-point gap to Toro Rosso, and then 10 to Williams and Renault. McLaren is close behind. Prima well behind with just 14 points. So the strategy might be benefiting a lot of teams, but it's not benefiting Prima so much. But 67 points is pretty dang good at this point, as we have 1/3 of the season in the books, 2/3 yet to go, and that's a nice total. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.